Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us. I'd like to call to order the Thursday, December 21st meeting, 2023 of the Parks and Community Services Committee. I'm the only one, well, Trevor and Jen and I are the only ones up here on the dais, so thanks for calling in. The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Oh, and AJ too is here.
Yep.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Second? Okay, thank you, Les. Thank you, Betty. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you very much. Public comment. None for you today? Okay, thank you, Jan. First item of discussion and informational items is monthly state of the parks with AJ. Thanks, AJ.
Yep. Good morning.
Morning.
So we've been kind of busy since the last time we saw you. Kirk and I put up some Christmas lights. We were able to get the nets off the soccer goals and get them moved back where we store them. The baseball field, we went behind the cache site and got some more clay. And then added it to the baseball field just as the normal maintenance thing that Kirk does. And then we put a bunch of tarp all over it and blocks to put it all away for the winter. And then I've just been trimming trees around town, and ones that I didn't get to last year. Then I've been working on the irrigation system plan and getting items ready to be ordered and making sure everything is right. So when we put it in, it works correctly and we don't have too much or too little of something. And just little things here and there, maintenance things. But other than that, that's about it.
I've got one thing to add on to that, the Center Street Beach access. Had Matt Burley come down on Monday, I believe it was, Tuesday. And he pre-fitted the new handrails for the access.
Okay.
To make sure everything fits right. And he disassembled everything and it's being hot dipped and galvanized as we speak.
Cool.
Once that gets complete, we'll install the handrails and then we got a little bit of prep to do to the landing of the beach. And we were hoping that we could open up that access after that, but during this construction project, come to find out the wooden stairs above where we just did our work are in pretty bad condition. So we're gonna have to take a look at that. We're getting some pricing for some new galvanized stairs to get rid of the wooden stairs. We're looking at options.
It's moving along.
Great. You guys do stay busy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's hard to get those guys on the beach and in this type of weather.
Not enjoyable on
On the right, yeah. Short window.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much. Tom, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. So next is right-of-way tree removals. Oh.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Anita.
I just wanted to say how nice Whale Park looks, AJ, and can notice what your work is doing there, and was wondering how the committee feels about the sign, the evacuation sign that was brought up through public comment last month, and maybe asking collectively as a committee if that could be moved somewhere else.
I've talked to Rick Hudson about that. That's his tsunami evacuation sign. He placed it in that location because there was a sign there that was previously there. And
I think that was
also,
for COVID. That was when we had our
Correct.
cute little bunny sign there,
but
so.
with his signage, it's all about exposure. How can we get as many people to look at his signs? And that's one of his locations. So I can't, that's kind of in his wheelhouse. It's his sign. So I believe Bruce was gonna talk to him about that.
Okay,
That's what I know about that.
okay.
Thank you. Jen?
I'm involved in this as well, and I brought it up, at, well, last month. And then at coffee with the counselors this month again. And Bruce has said that he is willing to work with me to try to find another location. That was on Monday. And then also I talked with, Gary Hayes. He also thinks it's not appropriate in that location. And he has also said he'd be willing to work with Bruce and with me to try to find, somewhere right there, but not as kind of in your face. So we'll be working on that in the new year,
Okay,
and hopefully, of course, with Rick too.
sure, of course. How to be safe.
I have something to add. I totally looked at. Since we met last time, I planted 2 trees. 1 redwood, or no, 6 trees. 1 redwood at Ecola Pump Station, right next to a withering cherry tree. 1 at the 2nd Street bathrooms, that's a shore pine, just right as you're exiting there, you'll see it in the grass. And then Kirk and I planted 4 more cedars at 6th and Laurel, where we did the planting with the elementary school kids.
They look really good too.
It's just on the other side of the right of way there. But, yep, that's it for trees.
Wonderful, thanks. So tree focus group, Les, do you want to give an update on that?
Yeah. So with regard to the signage there at Whale Park, if it would do any good, also weighing in if we need to, but supporting the notion of moving that sign, to just making it better. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if we need a parks recommendation or not. It sounds like it's moving forward, but I'm supportive of it.
Okay, thanks.
Rick's totally aware of how many people do not like where the sign is. But I'm kind of leaving it in his wheelhouse. Sign, okay?
Yeah,
All right. Anyway, getting on to the tree focus group, we've had, the current status is that the latest draft version of that language was provided to legal for their review. Lisa Kerr handled that. I provided her a clean copy, and that should be being looked at. The last set of updates that went into it were the feedback from Public Works and the community development folks, including some revised language that Steve planning guy, can't say his last name, provided. I think the next step will be to go in front of the Parks Committee.
but we were gonna take it in front of enforcement too, right?
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Stacy.
Yeah.
You're right. So we still need to talk to enforcement, and I don't have any idea if that has been scheduled yet or not.
Yeah, probably not till after the first of the year. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Next is community grants. Jen very quickly worked up a shortened schedule. So we can get the checks to the recipients sooner, get it to council sooner so they can get their checks. You can see there's in the packet, there's a consolidated schedule and then a traditional schedule. And then one in particular, special meeting that we would need to pick whether we wanted to do it right before Memorial Day or right after. So did you guys all have a chance to look at that and kind of think about what makes the most sense?
Well, I liked moving it right along and doing the May 21st final worksheet and then the special meeting on the 23rd just to keep it moving. But that's just me.
Okay, so the 23rd of May then for the special meeting to finalize everything?
I think so too.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, all right. So you good with that, Jen?
Yep.
Okay. And then they'll get their checks, they'll go to council a month earlier and they'll get their checks a month earlier.
Hey.
That's great.
Yeah. And then let's talk at the next meeting about how we want to handle, we talked about maybe having a new event or tying into an existing event, the concerts in the park, to make make an event of them getting their checks. So let's start and finish hopefully that conversation next month. You guys okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Any other changes you want, Jen, do we need to talk about anything else?
I mean, if there's anything outside of dates that you guys do want to change, it would be good to know, because then we can bring back the revised one next month to keep the process going.
Okay,
But I don't think in the past you guys have talked about any significant changes. So I guess it would be, if you guys can at least think of things, if you have any changes that you want to do, we can at least talk about it next month.
okay,
Because then if we talk about them in January, you can approve them in February and you still have the March leeway a little bit.
okay. So if you guys could all take a look at that.
Oh, actually, I was wrong. So it has to be done by February. Sorry, I had an April date in my head, but
Okay,
if you guys, your meeting in January is the 18th and your meeting in February is the 15th. So we would have to have all final changes finalized by your meeting in the 15th in February.
okay,
So that's just the time frame you guys are working on.
okay. And we made a lot of changes a couple years ago, but there may be some small tweaks. So if you guys could take a look at that for next month, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. So heritage trees, Trevor, do you have any updates on?
I did talk with Jeff Gearhart and he has not been able to make it over to look at the nomination at Les Shirley Park. It's on his list of things to look at. So hopefully by next month's meeting, I'll have some information for everyone.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, the holidays are tricky times.
And with the storms that we've been having, it's been a tricky time.
Great. Thank you very much. So the monthly reserve cleanup, there were 6 of us that met last Saturday thank you, Tom. Thanks, Jan. We only worked for an hour, but we got quite a bit, I'd say. A lot of blackberries, some ivy. So thanks to everybody that was there, and we'll do it again next month. The
Thank you
weather was-
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the weather was good.
You guys are doing a great job and I always get nervous when I get a text from Barb Knopf on a Saturday. A picture of the location of where the brush is.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, we had fun. We got a lot done in that hour, so it was great.
Do you have any ideas for next month's site?
Well, we talked about just kind of staying in the same spot.
Okay.
There's still quite a bit of ivy left and a lot of blackberries.
Great,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. That entrance area could use some cutting,
Okay, great.
getting poked a little bit from the blackberries. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Betty. Thanks for sending the text out to everybody.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And it was easily accessible. I just grabbed the loader and went down and grabbed it and stuck it in the compactor bin, and it was.
We were worried people might think that's a new dumping spot for. So, good,
No, it
it's
was
gone.
Perfect spot.
Now, we were hoping that would be really easy to get to, so for you, so good.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
load it up in the
AJ
truck and I was like, just grab it with the machine and let.
AJ, thank you so much. It makes our job so much easier for that waste to just be delivered away from us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, thank you. So the last item is 12 Days of Earth Day. And Jan included in the packet the pamphlet from last year. So if you guys could all take a look at that and see if there, yeah, other than dates, if there are any things you want to change for the handbook for next year.
The the only thing that I brought up last time and I'd like to talk about this time is the volunteer, well, I know we have to put in the permits for, sorry, I'm really jet lagged. When we send out the invitation to the different groups, if they've done it the year before, do they have to put their motto and all that, or can they just, can we figure out a way to streamline it so that, for instance, Jan does 3 different groups and every year she has to write a whole new form with all the same information? Is there a way we could streamline it so that known groups that come every year can cut back on the things they have to do, because that's a big obstacle for them? So I'd like to talk about that, if there's a way for us to make that easier on the groups that are becoming part of our street fair.
So the only way that that's gonna happen is they're gonna need to take a copy themselves and then just resubmit that copy with a new date, because I need, for our records, I need one with this year's date on it. And I don't wanna be the one responsible for having to pull out their last year form. So if they can just keep copies of it without dates, or erase the date, white out the date, put a new date, as long as we get a submittal with it, that will work.
Okay, I'll work with them. I'll work with everybody that was there last year and see if we can figure out how to do that. Thank you.
And then if there's any, I'm not familiar with the packet, as, I don't know if there's other forms that we could include in this packet that they have to complete. Because if we give them with the packet, maybe that gives them to them a little earlier. I don't know. I'm not sure how many different forms there are for the volunteers. But if we include all forms in the packet, would that help?
Yes, that was going to be my next suggestion, is give them their volunteer forms so that they can send it all in at the same time. That would be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, make it easy.
Include volunteer forms in the packet. Include all volunteer.
In January, I'm going to start calling people right away, because I'd like to have that process moved more quickly. And so I'm going to be calling people in January to see if they're interested in being part of our group.
And then another thing to think about too is, do you think we ought to have a special meeting to start the planning of it? Or do you think, Betty, that we'll have enough time in our regular meeting to be able to do that?
Can I think about that? Because, well, I think the thing that I was talking to Les about is, if we could, I would like to have more intense things happening this year, because we've moved out of COVID, and I'd like to call on the Tolobana Arts colony to allow us to have more workshops and things happening there, because we have 2 weekends this year.
Yeah.
So if that's okay with the committee, I'd like to up our activities on the weekends and have hands-on workshops going on.
Great.
Okay.
And also, I'd like to have more hands-on things happening at the street fair. If, of course, we've always got the weather as an issue, but I don't know. I'm trying to make it a little, instead of just an information, make it more community involvement. Last year we did a little thing where they had nature crowns. That was a very popular booth, just something for the kids to get involved.
Sure.
So if it's okay with everybody, I'd like to start brainstorming about that.
Okay. Sounds good. Great. Anything else for 12 days?
Yeah, Stacy, I've got a couple of thoughts.
Yep.
And this may be more for Jen to give me some feedback. I tried to find the 12 Days of Earth Day page within our city website, and frankly, I can't find it at all. But without a new admin until early January, I'm curious if that's the soonest that we can start updating that. I don't personally have access to it. I would like to start getting a broad update done to our website, showing the start and end dates. And then as Betty starts fleshing out her events, I want to keep that up to date earlier and use that as the main communication portal that I can share out to organizations.
Yeah, we can do that. We do have the new website, and if you do the search bar and type in 12 days, it does come up as the second option. So the thing with the website is we can't always link everything to the front page. And so if it does come up, we can go ahead and start making revisions to this anytime. What would be the most helpful for me is if you can, either print it out and make the revisions, or just tell me what needs to be changed and give me something that I could just pop in there and just make this change on. Because it really wouldn't take very long. And then we can start sending that out. I mean, a lot of this information from last year, we'll probably just want to take down and just say future, coming, pending, something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can, if you tell me what to change, I can make them fairly quickly.
Okay, so I'm typing in 12 Days of Earth Day on our website, and it's not what's coming up for me. All I'm getting are parks and community services meeting notes.
Okay, so just type in 12 days. That's all I typed in was 12 days.
Yeah, me too. And it's the second item. The first one says public notices and the second one says 12 Days of Earth Day. And if you click on that, it takes you to the page.
And actually, if you type in 12 Days of Earth Day, the very first item comes up is 12 Days of Earth Day. It's right above the public service, parks meeting. So it doesn't, it looks weird because it says Public Works News 2021. I don't know why it says that.
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
So I'll look at that, and I would like to get you some comments back, because the sooner we get that ready, then the sooner we can start populating it as we think of our events.
Yeah, definitely. If you can just mark stuff up, I can make the changes.
I'll take care of that. Or Stacy, I'll let you know what I come up with, but we'll get it going.
Okay, sounds great. Anything
That's all
else
I
for? Okay, thanks. Anybody have anything else for 12 days?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I want to get involved in 12 days.
Yeah.
Help get the word out about it, because I really don't think we've done a great job of flyers and all the establishments and people knowing about it. Yeah, if they show up downtown, it's really nice. But anyway, I've got a little bit of energy.
Great.
And the will to help. Okay, so
Wonderful.
Point me at something. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Tom, this is Les. One of the reasons that you don't see flyers until pretty late in the process is that in past years, it's been almost last minute before we really got things finalized. Hopefully with our push to get started earlier, we'll be able to put flyers out earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get things in place earlier so we can, Wonderful. Great.
One of the things too, to let you guys know, the city has a monthly ad in the Cannon Beach Gazette. It's the last edition of the month. So I'm always looking for things to advertise when we have community engagements. I try to post that. I think this week's it's Wipes in the Pipes, Wipes Cloud Pipes. So we can always utilize that ad for the month.
So like at the end of March, we could.
Yeah, and I'll get the dates. I'm working, I need to get their calendar dates for next year, but we can kind of reserve the March ones, and it's a half-page ad in color.
Oh,
So it's
Let's take advantage of that.
yeah, for sure, Les.
So the end of, when do you need to have that, Jen?
I have to
Yeah,
look at the dates. I don't have the 2024 calendar yet with the due dates, but I'll get that from her probably in the next week or so.
Let me know and I'll make sure that we get,
Perfect.
make that happen.
Great. Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jen.
and let me know what the deadline is, and I'll make sure that we get everything we can get done ready to go.
Okay, perfect. I need to follow up with my contact anyways, and she usually gets me the list out at the end of the year.
All right. Anything else? No? All right, thank you so much. So we
ma'am.
are in good of the order. Does anybody have anything?
I've got a couple things. Sherry Russell is hired for our new public works admin assistant, and she starts January 8th. So the
Hey.
meeting, she will be involved with that.
Yeah.
I want to leave on a good note is, last month Jan gave us some beautiful pictures of the Purple Martins from this year. And so we had them framed.
Oh,
We're displaying them out here in the hallway at City Hall.
beautiful.
It turned out really good. Hopefully you guys can see them.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's
nice.
beautiful.
Trey Tardine took those
Thank you,
photos.
Trevor.
We have them displayed right out here.
Beautiful.
Nice, Jan.
They're really good, actually. I mean, they're really
Thank you,
beautiful.
Jan.
That's great.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you.
That's all I got.
Like I said, I don't know if they could hear me, but Schwab Tarin, who donated the houses, he took those photos, so,
He's quite a bird lover.
yeah,
They're great photos.
yeah.
Good. It'll be fun to look at those. Okay, anything else?
I just had a quick thought. You know, one of the things we might be able to publish for Earth Day is how many martins we created. I mean, you know what I mean? So how many trees we planted this year. So we kind of tout all the good works we've been doing this year. So people know we're a green friendly city. We can start thinking about that, maybe not for this year, but maybe for the future years.
Wonderful.
I have
Good
those
idea, Betty.
numbers. We track the numbers of trees planted each year for our Tree City USA application.
Mhm.
So we have that stuff in it.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I wish everybody a very, very happy holiday. And thanks for everything everybody does. And Happy New Year. And we will see you all in January. Thank you so much. The meeting's adjourned.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, bye.
Chris, Tom, Trevor,
Bye,
Jan,
Mary.
AJ.
See you guys.